Hello, namaste, and good day, and welcome to another episode of Indian Born Aussie Bred with your host Aussie Marcy. So, in the last episode, we finished up where we were just starting our journey into trying for a baby. How exciting! Today's episode is going to delve a little more into that and how the journey actually went. I'm laughing because this is very funny now that I think about it. But anyways, let's get started. Hopefully you're excited to hear what happens next. A lot of the podcast is going to be about my parenting journey. Welcome to Indian Born Aussie Bred. So, there we were, starting our exciting journey of trying for a baby every month on the period cycle. So let's start from the beginning. For those of you who are kind of new or trying for a baby, I'll go through a few things that in general, you can probably find this advice anywhere on the internet, but just to list down a few things. Of course, let's start with cutting down all the bad things for our health, like अगर आप smoke करते हो, अगर आप drink करते हो, अगर आप drugs लेते हो, just you need to stop. That is going to affect the future health of your baby. So definitely stop all of that. I know stopping alcohol is probably one of the most common signs that we find amongst girlfriends. So around our time, we used to do catch-ups, and there'd be somebody who's not drinking would always be like, "Oh, I think she's trying," and I thought, you need to stop doing your smoke, drink, drugs. That's number one. Number two, you need to start taking folic acid. So I can't stress enough how important that is. Of course, your doctors might tell you that as well, but very easily available at any chemist. Please do start taking folic acid, and probably even having food which is very high in folic acid. Which brings me to your point 3, which is having a really healthy, balanced diet. Some research actually proves that Mediterranean diet is probably the most healthiest diet while trying to conceive. Well, it's not the beat of all. People all around the world fall pregnant. So, but yes, of course, I guess Mediterranean diet probably has a healthy, balanced diet between carbs and protein and salads and things like that. So, just have a healthy diet. Include a lot of ingredients which probably have folic in them, like greens and things like that. So that would be definitely one of the other points. So that's point number 3. Cutting down on tea, coffee, so cutting down on caffeine. Oh, I know how much we Indians love tea. So chai ke bina to din start nahi hota, and no one's telling you to give up your chai fully or your coffee. You can probably have a cup or 2. I know I only had a cup each morning. That's all I have. I'm not a heavily caffeine oriented person, but I know some people who really can't live without it. Probably just toning that down just helps regulate your body's hormones, your hydration levels as well. So yeah, cutting down on caffeine will definitely help. That's point 4. Point 5, getting fit as well. I guess I don't mean start going to the gym and things like that. No, just get closer to a healthier weight, which I guess a balanced diet will start to inculcate, and maybe do some walks and just get some fresh air. Again, that helps to balance out just your blood sugar levels in your body as well, and just brings you into a healthy lifestyle to carry the baby. It is going to be a big task for your body over the next 10 months. So we better get the body prepared. Even though it won't be running, let me assure you, your body internally will be running. It will be running. So your body internally is going to take up a lot of heavy weight, and we want to train the body to have the stamina to go through that, right? Point number 6, you need to have a series of tests. So a couple of tests that we did. I spoke about this in my previous episode of the podcast. We did go through and do all of our bloods. So having a complete thorough blood test, testing for what your blood group is, you probably need to know that. But if you have any other conditions like diabetes and things like that, can also get picked up. Also like rubella and things STIs, get tested for that. Also, cervical test is another one that is something that gets automatically reminded to us here in Australia every 3 years. So getting that done also before you start to try for pregnancy is a good idea, because you can't really do the test once you are pregnant, and you may have the concern of having cervical cancer. So yeah, just to be on the safe side, go to your GP. They'll probably tell you all of these tests that you're required to do. I guess the first step is just make an informed decision. You are trying for a baby. You're probably having that constant communication with your partner. Take your partner along. Go to the GP, which is the general practitioner here. Sorry. India it might be your local Gynaec doctor. And just let them know that you're trying for baby. What are some of the tests or pre-tests that they would like you to take, and I think they will be the best people to guide you on it. Okay, so I guess all of these steps were taken. हम लोग ने टेस्ट करा लिए थे, हम लोग फॉलिक एसिड ले रहे थे. आजकल आई गेस मेंस का भी एक वर्जन आता है when they are trying just to kind of up their sperm quality. तो the market is really very knowledgeable now. तो women के लिए है, men's के लिए है. We were both taking just maybe even check your iodine levels. तो वो भी शायद blood test से निकल जाएगा. But yeah, taking folate, taking iodine. I guess many of the salt in India generally has iodine for many years. Australia may I actually had to make I had to make that informed decision to go and buy salt specifically which had iodine. India mein rehte we got so used to it, like it's such a simple thing ki namak mein iodine hai, but not so over here. So and iodine is another thing that you do need for a healthy development of the body. ठीक है, तो ये सब तो हम लोग कर ही रहे थे, हेल्दी लाइफस्टाइल फॉलो कर रहे थे, एंड अलॉन्ग विद दैट वी वर ट्राइंग. तो आई गेस द अदर थिंग यू वांट टू डू इज़ प्रॉब्ली स्टार्ट ट्रैकिंग योर ओव्यूलेशन. उसके लिए भी काफ़ी एप्स है, दिस लाइक अ बम्प ऐप, ग्लो ऐप, और बहुत सारे ऐप्स है. दे प्रिटी गुड. बहुत अच्छे पुश नोटिफिकेशंस आते हैं उस पर. यू कैन जस्ट पुट इन योर लास्ट पीरियड डेट एंड टेल यू व्हेन यू आर ओव्यूलेटिंग. So I think as a newbie starting, and I don't know how many of you will relate to it, I was like very unaware of my body, But then I think India we don't talk about our bodies, we don't talk about reproduction, we don't talk about fertility enough. Or karna chahiye is bare mein baat. I truly feel that, especially after my journey, and which is the whole point of starting this podcast, right? Come out of the taboos and just talk about it, because the more you talk about it, the more the future generation will know, or more the current generation will know, so to speak, and you can make an informed decision. You don't need to have a baby, but at least you'll be empathetic to somebody who's trying to have a baby, right? So ये सब tracking apps पे I was tracking my ovulation, and it would say कि अभी तुम्हारा cervical mucus will feel whitish and yellowish and sticky and runny, and honestly सब कुछ terms I could not understand. I was like, how does somebody know it is going to feel like an egg yolk? How does somebody know it's going to feel runny? Or ठीक है, yellow white तो समझ में आता है देख के, but it was I guess it's a journey a person has to go through personally. So I guess it's taken me a while to kind of learn my own body. तो track करते वक्त वो app कुछ दिखाता था, you are 3 days pre-ovulation, or you're 4 days post-ovulation, and this is how your cervical mucus will look, and this is how you're feeling, this is how your breasts will feel. और पता नहीं, I had just become so hyper conscious of everything. ऐसा लग रहा था सब सही तो निकल रहा है, like is it really matching up, like is my cervical mucus actually runny, या फिर my breast feeling tender, and I didn't even know what that meant. I know maybe some people do, but honestly I did not, and I think there might be many women who are in the same boat as me. Please tell me if you are. It'll just make me not feel like I was the odd one out. But I guess this is where I feel like an Indian upbringing was kind of a bit of a disadvantage where we weren't aware of these things. Or being in a country by yourself, जहाँ पे you don't have other उतना वैसे close knit peer group नहीं है. You don't have your parents support or anybody like that, or elder sisters and things who you can kind of confide and ask all of these things. So basically it's you and the app, or you and the app and the partner, and you're just trying to figure this out as you go. So an interesting journey nonetheless, but you learn. So I think 2-3 महीने लगे for me to understand, track, actually feel and understand what they mean by the time of ovulation, है ना. और अब 2 बच्चों के बाद तो I'm pretty like spot on. पर हाँ, I think initially, if you're going through this journey, if you're reading those terms on the app and you are looking down in the bathroom and you're wondering मेरे को कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, please let me tell you, you're not the only one. कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है because you just feel like ये bodily functions है, why am I monitoring it like a doctor, है ना. It's funny, but you will get the hang of it. You don't need to stress about it. हम लोग ऐसे लोगों को तो जानते ही है जो बिना कुछ किए they fall pregnant, एक बार में रामबाण, जो रेयरली होता है बट होता है. तो इसलिए don't really stress about it. अगर समझ में आ रहा है तो follow it. अगर नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, just go with the flow. Our bodies are amazing. The day you feel like I can conquer the world is probably the day you're ovulating, okay? Because it's just the hormones burst out. You feel great. You feel like dressing up that day. You just have that strut going on, and so you'll have that zing in the step, और उस दिन पता रहेगा. Just if you're feeling good, that's the day you want to make love, है ना. ठीक है, वो एक part I wanted to cover was just us tracking ourselves, और खुद से क्या क्या कर सकते हैं, like in terms of taking supplements or balanced diet and all of that. I think I'll talk about the next part, जिस बारे में I've talked to a lot of my friends. A lot of them have eventually over the years even asked me for advice क्योंकि they kind of knew my journey. तो मेरे को लगता है इस बारे में बात करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, because these thoughts used to come in my mind, and from like I think like these tens of girlfriends that I've talked to, they all have the same questions in their mind, right? So that is about the actual act happening. So when you're making love and you're doing all of those things, tab there are a number of things that can confuse you, which I want to talk about. If it is sensitive for you to listen, please don't listen to the remaining part of this podcast. But I do want to talk about it frankly, and I do want to talk about it openly as well. So I guess when you're having sex, or when you're making love, one of the other things is sometimes if you aren't that sexually active, one of the first confusions is about holes in a woman's body. Somebody once told me, did you know you have 5 holes? And I'm like, what? I have no clue. I don't even know if that is true. Okay, but I mean it's quite normal to have that confusion. You'll figure it out. The next one is how long to keep it in. People always have this fear of especially when they're trying. People also have this confusion of semen oozing out, especially when the partner pulls out, and we have this thought in our head, oh God, sab gaya. I really need to do something to keep it in. Let me tell you, वो भी बहुत common है. Through my Gynaec and through my fertility specialist, I've learned कि you just actually you just need one sperm, or millions and millions and millions of sperms है. तो वो कितना भी बाहर निकल जाए, अगर लगना है निशाने पे, one is enough, and it would have swum through. So you need one persistent swimmer who gets the job done. तो अगर वो भी हो रहा है आपके साथ, तो प्लीज़ डोंट स्ट्रेस, प्लीज़ जस्ट एन्जॉय द प्रोसेस. सब लोग ये बोलते हैं एन्जॉय करना बहुत मुश्किल होता है, आई अंडरस्टैंड, बट डोंट स्ट्रेस अबाउट, जस्ट डू इट, ठीक है. पर अगर if the partner pulls out and you have a bit of semen oozing out, it's okay. कुछ लोगों ने मुझे बोला था कि वो पाँव ऊपर करके लेटे हुए रहो 10 मिनट तक आफ्टर intercourse. Funnily, we have tried that also. I think 3-4 महीने जब हो गए थे, and we were still not pregnant, that's when the anxiety started to kick in कि क्या हो रहा है, 3 महीने हो गए, 4 महीने हो गए, इतना ज़्यादा हम लोग ट्रैक कर रहे हैं, इतना ज़्यादा टाइम से कर रहे हैं, फिर भी क्यों नहीं हो रहा, we're doing everything by the books. तब these things start to kick in where you're worried about semen oozing out, you're worried about चलो पाँव पर करके 10 मिनट लेटे हुए रहो, and all of that. They are all like old wives tales, as they say. कुछ scientific evidence नहीं है इसको prove करने के लिए. For some people, they feel like they have fallen pregnant when they have put their leg up, because maybe they're pushing the sperm to swim up. तो ठीक है, ये सब these are like rumors or superstitious beliefs. There are no harm to actually doing it. So I just wanted to use the platform to let you know that these are normal things. They can look funny, that can seem funny. If you want to do it, please do it. उसमें कुछ गलत तो नहीं हो रहा है. It'll happen or it won't happen. हम लोग ने भी किया था. If that makes you feel any better in your situation, हाँ, पाँव उठा के लेटे हुए रहते थे with the hopes कि ये month हो जाएगा. I guess those were some of the other things during intercourse that probably crosses your mind. And lastly, it brings me to the 2WW, so the 2-week wait. Okay, that's the last thing I want to talk about today. Is ये सब होने के बाद it comes that moment of truth जहाँ पे when your app is telling you just wait for the 2 weeks and see what's happening. तो ये सब कारनामे हो चुके हैं. You've done your pre-ovulation steps, you're following a healthy diet, you've done during your ovulation, you've had your intercourse every alternate day, every 3 days, whatever works for you, kar lo. Uske baad you wait for 2 weeks. So in that 2-week period is where your body will be telling you whether the sperm and egg have fertilized and you are on the way to falling pregnant, or it hasn't happened this month, and you will end up getting your period and shedding your uterus lining. है ना? वो 2-week wait period for all trying couples सबसे ज़्यादा hard रहता है, और especially जब अपने month on month try कर रहे हैं. तो हम लोग के लिए it had been 4 months, 6 months, और ये month on month जब ये 2-week wait period रहता था, I don't know, like काफ़ी anxious और stressful period रहता था. But the catch-22 with the situation is वही टाइम पे your body needs to relax, है ना? जब अपने सोच रहे हैं उस बारे में कि हुआ नहीं हुआ, the theory tells us कि just relax करो, live life as normal, सोचो मत उस बारे में, which is so hard. तो it can only happen if you are not consciously trying. अगर किसी का जैसे बोलते हैं ना by chance हो गया, या हम लोग ट्राई नहीं कर रहे थे और ऐसे ही हो गया, I think उनके लिए 2-week wait period ऐसे ही बीत गया था. बट जो लोग काफ़ी कॉन्शियसली ट्राई कर रहे हैं, आई नो कि उनके लिए 2-week वेट पीरियड इज़ रियली हार्ड टू गो थ्रू. तो या मेरा सजेशन भी यही रहेगा कि ट्राई टू कीप योर सेल्फ ऑक्यूपाइड, ट्राई टू कीप योर सेल्फ हैप्पी. इट्स ओके टू थिंक अबाउट इट. ऑफकोर्स वो बहुत, I think it's unfair to say कि don't think about it at all. I mean, you're planning for something, why will you not think about it? But I guess keep yourself engaged, not overworked but engaged. कुछ hobby करो, या कुछ भी idle time है जहाँ आपको लगता है कि आपका mind उस तरफ जा रहा है, या you're feeling a bit that kind of sadness is starting to come in कि क्या होगा, or the worry is starting to creep in. Do something fun. Go and do something fun that will take your mind off it, whether it be a movie, chatting with some friends, going out. Maybe you love your work, you have great colleagues, maybe spend a bit more time at work, but do what is fun. ठीक है, तो your body भी relax होता है. The more you laugh, the more you enjoy, of course you're giving that relaxation to your body, and at the same time you're not thinking about it. तो ये 3 stages के बाद, तो you're having your steps to conceive, you're going through your intercourse phase, and then you're going through your 2-week wait period, और उसके बाद comes the judgment day or the judgment week, so to speak. तो आपको पता रहता है कि you're nearing to your period date in the next 21 days cycle. और वो time के feelings if I can share are I think they are really हार्ट स्टॉपिंग, क्योंकि वो टाइम हर छोटा क्रैम्प इन योर बॉडी, हर छोटा ब्लीड लाइन या म्यूकस सेक्रेशन, एवरीथिंग काइंड ऑफ यू स्टार्ट टू एनालाइज कि क्या सही हुआ, क्या गलत हुआ. यू आर ऑलमोस्ट एनालाइजिंग टू अ पॉइंट वे यू होल्डिंग बैक योर पीरियड, जो पॉसिबल तो नहीं है क्योंकि बॉडी को जो करना है वो करेंगे. बट I know from all my girlfriends कि we are always like, just praying up and trying to control the internal functionings of the body and saying कि बस periods नहीं हो, and hopefully I've fallen pregnant this cycle. So yeah, these feelings are quite normal. They can be quite gut wrenching at that point of time. Some people get very anxious, they get very depressed, especially if they've been trying for a long time. So yeah, I just wanted to share and let you know that we have been through the same. We have actually tried for a whole of a year religiously, not skipping a month. So 12 months we were actually doing this. Okay? So generally doctors in Australia will say you need to try between 6 to 12 months before you see a fertility specialist. उसके पहले फर्टिलिटी स्पेशलिस्ट को रेकमेंड नहीं करते हैं अनलेस यू ओवर 35. हम लोग आफ्टर 4 months जीपी को देखने गए थे टू डिस्कस दिस कि 4 महीने से वी बीन ट्राइंग एंड वी हैवंट हैड सक्सेस. पर जीपी ने भी यही बोला कि आई कांट रियली गिव यू रेफरल. यहाँ पे एक रेफरेंस देना पड़ता है टू सी अ मोर स्पेशलाइज्ड पर्सन इन एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ कंसर्न्स दैट यू हैव. तो फर्टिलिटी स्पेशलिस्ट को देखने के लिए वी नीडेड टू बी ट्राइंग फॉर 12 months. अब वो बहुत लंबा टाइम लग रहा था. कैसे तो भी करके वी मेड इट टू 6 months, 8 months. आई वॉज लिटरली देन ट्रैकिंग क्योंकि ये पूरा टाइम कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा था. आई हैड नॉट फॉलन प्रेगनेंट. आई हैड नॉट I was getting periods on the clock, like 21 days cycle, मतलब 21 days cycle. ऐसा लग रहा था ऐप पे I'm not tracking ovulation, I'm tracking period, क्योंकि जो दिन बोलते थे almost वही दिन पे month on month होता था, which was very disappointing. Yeah, so I guess we tried for a whole of 12 months, having had 0 clinical pregnancies. So I'll define this term clinical pregnancy क्योंकि क्या होता है, the other thing that is not probably talked about as much is miscarriages, and I'll probably talk about this a little bit more in the next episode. But actually we had not had any sort of pregnancy at all, मतलब कुछ भी नहीं हुआ था, including no miscarriages as well. और ये 12 months हो गया था. तो we were at that point where we had followed all of these steps and nothing had come about. तो ये हो सकता है आपके साथ, ठीक है. तो आई वॉन्ट टू शेयर दिस जर्नी बिकॉज आई वॉन्ट यू टू नो अबाउट दिस जर्नी एंड आई वॉन्ट एवरीबडी टू नो कि सब चीज़ कितना भी प्लान कर ले नहीं होता है. एंड स्पेशली आई हैव लर्न दिस थ्रू द हार्ड वे कि पेरेंट बनना अपने हाथ में नहीं है. मतलब अपने कर्म कर सकते हैं, फल की चिंता नहीं कर सकते. हाँ, तो व्हेन इट हैज़ टू हैपन इट विल हैपन. आई गेस डेस्टिनी हैज़ अ प्लान. So yeah, that's where we were at. We were at 12 months sitting at the GP's office asking for a fertility specialist ka referral. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to share that in this episode for our journey. I want to take this journey forward in the next episode, and hopefully I'll talk to you a little bit more about what happens next. It's going to be another 2 years of tough journey ahead. पर प्लीज़ लेट मी नो आपको ये एपिसोड कैसा लगा. आई थिंक आज का एपिसोड काफ़ी दिल से है. यू विल सी अ लॉट ऑफ अम्स एंड आर्स क्योंकि आई हैव जस्ट टॉक्ड माई हार्ट आउट टुडे. आई हैव डन मिनिमम एडिटिंग, ठीक है. तो अगर आपको आज का एपिसोड एक्चुअली बाकी एपिसोड से ज़्यादा कैजुअल, ज़्यादा एंटरटेनिंग लगा, प्लीज़ लेट मी नो. अगर आपको लगता है नहीं थोड़ा स्ट्रक्चरिंग ऑफ द एपिसोड विल बी बेटर, प्लीज़ लेट मी नो एज वेल, ठीक है. आई जस्ट वांटेड टू टॉक माई हार्ट आउट टुडे. बस आज वही मूड था. Catch you in the next episode. Until then, keep listening to Indian Born Aussie Bread.